Here we are in what was the front lobby, the combined lobby for the West End and the Odeon, and right at the back, decorating the previous lobby, was this incredible mural made in ceramic, glazed and glass tiling by expat New Zealand architect Maurice K Smith.
George Farrant is on a mission to get the mosaic out in one piece. That is, though, speaking figuratively. In fact, the mosaic has to be carefully carved up, removed as 200 separate pieces, then reassembled later. No easy feat, says Mr. Farrant.
It's fairly heroic. I've been involved with some Roman mosaic in the Middle East, and that was dead easy compared to this. The concrete in here is like steel.
Jeff mentioned Maurice K Smith before, the architect who designed the piece in the Odeon back in 1957.
Good evening.
Maurice left New Zealand for Massachusetts in 1958. He's 89 now, Emeritus Professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Before that, though, he was a lecturer at the Auckland School of Architecture, and George Farrant, one of his students.
He was an interesting character. He was quite lateral in his approach to life.
He says Maurice Smith designed some marvellous artworks and houses, but most of them have been altered beyond recognition or demolished. That's why George says saving this mosaic is so important.
Unfortunately, most of his work just hasn't made it. He's an architect that was perhaps more celebrated in the US, where he now is, still alive. And of course we're in contact with him over the future of this mural. He's an emeritus professor at Harvard MIT at the moment, and greatly valued in the United States, but a sort of prophet without honour in New Zealand architecture.
So what does Maurice Smith, the designer, think of all of this?
When I left Auckland, there wasn't all that much of that kind of stuff. I left before it was open. I never saw it with people in it. But that's that.
So are you glad to hear that it's being moved?
Well, I'm not annoyed. It's better than. Well, yeah. I mean, how can you not how can you be annoyed?
Once the mosaic is out, the next question is where to. George Farrant says ideally he wants it somewhere public and indoors, but in the meantime, he says the mosaic will likely sit in storage. For Checkpoint, Alex Ashton.